So, shit, this might actually become a thing. Yeah. So, more or less, I kind of... I did 2 videos prior and kind of talked about, it wouldn't really... This thing wouldn't be a thing, because I kind of canceled the fight sections because... One, being that some of the comment sections got really nasty, and 2... The other thing was, I wasn't able to keep track with all of them, and yeah, I kind of overwhelmed myself with all the fight sections, so yeah. So, in place of that, it looks like I'm going to be just doing this. Now, the big thing here is that this won't be, people will ask for fights. These are fights that I come up with, and you guys kind of discuss, kind of talk among yourselves and discuss. So yeah, please don't send me fights for this stuff. Yeah, please don't do that. This is kind of my thing. This is kind of, whatever spawns out of my head. Like, one day I'll just be thinking, you know what? Who would win in that fight? I wonder what that would be like. Yeah. So, yeah. This might be a thing, depending on how well the reception goes for this one. Because the other one was, the other 2 were Dominator and Cyclonus, and the other one was Superman versus Palpatine. And this time around, I just kind of, I was just watching The Force Awakens, and I was just kind of thinking in my head, what would it be like if this character fought the other one? And then it kind of dawned on me of what character, when I was listening to the Killer Instinct theme for the Arbiter, I was like, what would it be like if the Arbiter and Kylo Ren from Force Awakens fought? And here we are now. So, let's just talk about the pros and cons of who would win in a matchup between the grandfather of the grandson, almost said grandfather, Jesus Christ, the grandson of Darth Vader and the formerly shamed leader of the Covenant, the formerly shamed elite known as the Arbiter. Now, both of these guys are skilled swordsmen. They're both very powerful. But the thing is that the Arbiter, let's talk about their weapons first. Their weapons include that we have Kylo Ren, of course, with the lightsaber, and of course, the Arbiter carries the plasma sword. Now, could the lightsaber and plasma sword match up? They kind of have the same thing. They're both beams of light given solid energy, given solid form. So, I think a lightsaber and if you put a lightsaber against a plasma sword, they could actually connect, and one wouldn't cut through the other. So, because they kind of have the same, science behind them. So, I think it could work. Anyway. But the difference between a plasma sword and a lightsaber is that, a plasma sword, you cut it a few times and you're just down to the handle, which I guess you could just knock someone over the head with. But a lightsaber, you don't do it a few times, you don't cut through a few times, then it goes out. No, that thing stays on until you break the hilt. So, that's the big thing here. If they win to a sword fight, Kylo Ren would definitely, his sword, his lightsaber is going to last longer than that plasma sword. The other thing that Kylo Ren has over the Arbiter is, of course, the Force. And we've seen him throughout, the Force Unleashed. Almost said Force Unleashed. You see how well I prepared for this, people? The big thing with this is that he can use the Force in ways most Sith or Jedi can't use. We've seen him literally stop a blaster bolt in, midair. And then you have him actually stopping people dead center, like he did with Poe and Rey. He could even use the Force to literally just rip somebody's mind apart or just torture them. Now, the big thing with Arbiter is that he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that. You know what he does have? He's got some military training, and he's got tactics. The thing with Kylo is that he's young, he's very impatient, he's headstrong, and he depends more on brute force than he does skill, apparently. There's no real, skill to his moveset. If anything, his lightsaber combat is something close to what I would assume his grandfather used, which is Dejem So, which was a very heavy-based heavy strike-based move, which makes sense because his lightsaber is very much like a claymore, which you can only use in so many different swipes, like up and down, side to side, and yeah. That's the big thing here, is that with Kylo, even though he has all the power, he has no skill, whereas Arbiter has all the skill and no power, but he's gone up against opponents that could, quintessentially have powers that they could use against him. So that's a very big factor right there. is that he's very, the Arbiter's very intelligent, whereas Kylo Ren, he gets loud, he gets impatient, he gets, aggressive, but that pain gives him more power to the Force, strengthens his connection to the Force. And literally, he could just stop whatever the Arbiter has, shoots him with a carbine rifle, just stops the bolts in midair and could, just hold him there, even hold the Arbiter there as he goes in for a strike. So, this is a real, they each have their own pros and cons to one another. So this is a really difficult matchup. The Arbiter's going to have to stay away from him, but you can't really escape the Force because it surrounds and binds your ass. So that's that's kind of the big thing we're looking at right here with this matchup. So this is somewhat, this is not like the Superman Palpatine fight where Superman would be like, "Oh, I can't kill you." No, someone's getting killed here. But yeah. So this is a really... So I just thought I'd talk about this matchup. But you guys tell me, who do you think would win in a matchup between, the Arbiter and Kylo Ren? Just comment below, let me know. And, the typical thing with this is that if you think Kylo Ren is going to win, just put hashtag Kylo wins and explain your reasons why you think Kylo Ren would win. Or if you think the Arbiter would win, just put hashtag Arbiter wins and leave the reasons down below. I thought it would be an interesting spin on these new this new fight segment. But yeah, these are going to be fights that just show up randomly if I just think them up randomly out of my head. So yeah. And boy, do I just really think out of the box sometimes. Anyway, so once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and really looking forward to what you guys have to say about all this. Anyway, I'm out.